All right, so I had two dreams, and they were on different days. But the dream that I had last night, it's kind of weird. Like you don't never know if these dreams mean anything anyway, right? And then some dreams you're like observing it, like you're watching it like a movie, and then some dreams like you're actively participating in it and can affect like you're in a dream and you're conscious like you're doing stuff, right? So in this dream, I knew I was flying a plane. I was the pilot, and excuse me, Joe Biden was with me, and it was weird because I was like, man, I don't know how to fly a plane. Like I was thinking that in the dream. And anyway, so I remember I was flying the plane, and I believe we were flying to like Miami or Florida, but I remember that I didn't want to go too far because it was just all ocean. So I knew that I was coming down towards like Florida, and if you ever flew to Miami, like you could tell like it's all lit up or whatever at night, but you could definitely tell like when you're getting to the end of Florida because it's just nothing but ocean everywhere. So it was like that, and then I started like freaking out because I'm like, man, I don't know how to like I get that, like how I took off and I was flying the plane, like I got that part. In a dream, it seemed like that was easy, but landing it was gonna be like a whole nother thing. And so I just bailed out. And I remember I jumped out of the plane and I had a parachute, and I took the parachute to the ground, and I landed okay, and then I ended up catching a plane back to where I'm at now in Ohio. So I kept thinking like, man, I think Joe Biden is going to be dead because unless he unless he took over, the plane. Oh, he was sleeping. That was the thing. He was sleeping when I was flying. So I'm thinking like he dead because I didn't wake him up. Like I just bailed out on him, and I was cool because I landed with a parachute or whatever. But I'm like, if he didn't wake up, excuse me, I wasn't even yawning before I started doing this video. That's how you know it's the enemy. But if he didn't wake up, he dead. He died. So that was one dream, and like all dreams are weird. Like I don't know, if it's a point to even to post that. All right, so the dream that I had a couple days ago, this was a little bit different. I was driving an SUV. I was driving, so I'm in the driver's seat, and I got like some of my siblings in the back seat. So I think it's like one or two of my brothers and my sister, something like that. I'm not sure exactly. I don't even know why I'm yawning. I'm not even tired. But so I'm driving, and then I know the car start going up in the air, like the car starting to fly. So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden, I flew from the driver's side seat, I flew into the back seat. So as soon as I flew into the back seat, it wasn't like, you could tell like there was force behind it, but you could tell it wasn't like, yeah, like get over here. Like it wasn't like, it was like, I couldn't describe it. Like I definitely moved fast from the driver's seat to the back seat, but I didn't land like rough, and it wasn't like I got jerked or yanked rough, but it happened fast. And I couldn't see anybody, but I knew that somebody took my spot. So I knew it was invisible. Like whoever it was like an invisible force, and then they took control of the steering. And then as we going up in the air, we're flying, I could start seeing like explosions. Like I could see the whole world. And I could just see like as I was in the air, it was like God was showing me all these things, right? And then I heard something like a different language, but then it sounded like it was reversed. So it sounded like somebody was speaking, but it was backwards. And then I'm trying to figure out, like, what is that? What is that saying? You know? And I'm still looking out the window because I'm in the back seat now. And then as soon as the words became like English, or they reversed back to normal, because at first it sounded like it was being rewound, like the speech was backwards, like reverse speech. And which they do got a website called reversespeech.com. I don't know if it's still active, but that was some interesting stuff too. Like they say, like, if you reverse somebody's speech, you can find out what they were really like thinking or whatever. But anyway, so as soon as I started trying to like decipher the language or what was being said, at first I thought it was like demonic or like alien, like Sumerian or Egyptian. Like, I thought it was like some dark language, because at first it sounded like the reverse speech part sounded like it was demonic. But then, like, the second half of the speech, it sounded like it was God speaking to me. Like, he was like explaining to me what was going on. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, how is this even possible? Like, how's the car flying? And like, who's flying? You know, like, as soon as I started like figuring out, like trying to put it together and make sense of it, I woke up. So yeah, that's that. I don't know what it means, but I don't know. I'm thinking like rapture, because in both of the dreams I'm flying, like in a vehicle. Like, in my dreams I could normally fly anyway. Like, if I wanted to fly to outer space in my dream, I could easily. Like, I'm really good at flying. And a lot of times that's how I figure out if I'm dreaming or not, because I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming, cool, now I can fly. But a lot of times I don't even know I'm dreaming, I just think it's real, you know. But who knows? All right, y'all.